Hi, babies. Today on Settle Down for What, I have my first guest, and she's someone really special to me. My bestest friend, Amanda. She is an incredible photographer, incredibly talented photographer, an incredible mother and friend. We have so much fun together. We also have so many deep talks together, and you're gonna see that today. So this is Amanda. Hi. We're both nervous, so I just feel like let's just put it out there.
Yeah,
we're nervous. Like I'm nervous every time.
Mm-hmm. This is my first time being on a podcast, and I'm very honored to be your first guest on your podcast. But yeah, my hands are sweating. So.
Oh yeah, no. I put my air conditioner on usually before I set up because I'm sweating while I'm setting up, and then I turn it off right when I record, but I didn't do that today. So I have some upper lip sweat, but you probably can't even see that because I don't think we're in focus.
Right. Let's also make that disclaimer that we can't get it to focus.
Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, and now you. And we're photographers.
Well, I've never done this before, like a video.
Yeah. If
Mm.
anyone's out there who can help me, like seriously, please help me.
Because if it's on auto, we think it's going to keep focusing on the microphones and.
You're right. Like, because we're moving, so the focus needs to move with us. I don't know.
We need help.
Like,
just like in general. Like
mental,
with our lives, mental.
Physical, emotional, spiritual.
Yeah. If anybody could just help us with just those things, that's really all we're asking.
It's not that big of a, not that big of an ask.
We're so dumb.
We are so dumb, and you will see that, and that's why we love us.
That's why we love us.
And if you're watching, which I hope you are, I'm just like really trying to get my listeners to watch on YouTube because I don't know, YouTube is just, it's different, right?
It hits different.
It does hit different. Like, I know you get it because you're a YouTube girly.
I am such a YouTube girly. Yeah.
I just feel like, podcasts are, I don't know, in my opinion, better to watch than listen.
I super enjoy watching podcasts. I like listening to like more informational podcasts.
That makes sense.
But like funny or like, you know, about somebody's like real life and thing, like deep thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Like to see how they're.
Yeah, like how they're. Look what their facial expressions are
and
doing.
Their body language.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Same. So, see, we get. This is why we're friends. But I was gonna say something else about something. Oh, if you're watching, I made Amanda a smoothie.
Yes,
I'm the best friend in the world.
And her new,
like smoothie cup thing. I swear I go through so many water bottles and like smoothie cups. Do you guys know what I mean? Like,
this one's really good.
Like Stanley. Oh, wait, no, maybe I want a glass one. Or maybe I want a plastic one, but then I want it to have like the BPA free. I don't even know what it means, but it's something good for me. Or whatever. But what happened to my last one? I'm trying to think. I don't know. And then when the glass
you've left some at my house.
That's also, I probably left them around. I don't know, but I just got a new job, so I'm like, I'm gonna need to like probably make smoothies and bring them to work and stuff.
Right.
So I just bought that, and she used it for the first time. I haven't even used it yet. So,
well, it's approved. So
awesome.
We haven't even talked about your new job.
Like, I know.
We need to talk after this.
Oh yeah, me and you have. I thought you meant for the video. I'm like, wait, I don't know if I want to talk.
No. Me and you.
Yeah. Yes, and I actually do want to talk about something about it, and on here. But anyway. What I wanted to say was, me and Amanda were like, okay, well, number one, yes, I had to choose who my first guest was going to be. And like, there was a few people in my head, all like really good friends of mine, that I'm like, oh, I could, da, da, da. And then one day I was like, I just got to choose. And I just like, you were just like the first one that popped in my head. I'm like, it just makes sense. We wanted to start a podcast. Anyway.
We wanted to start a podcast together. We've been talking about doing a podcast for like a year.
Yeah, like before I even wanted to do mine.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and life happens and things. And like I said, Amanda's a mom, so that obviously complicates things too. But, and And maybe one day it'll happen. I feel like it might.
Me and you doing a podcast?
Yeah.
No, I think for sure.
I think it'll happen. But anyway, so then I had this like vision for myself and started it. And yeah, and Amanda it just made sense for her to be my first guest. And I hope you enjoy this episode. And yeah, we were like, okay, what should we like talk about? Basically, we were like texting each other about it. And I, as you guys know, if you've listened, like I don't really like planning stuff out. Like I feel like it'll make me feel like robotic. So I just want to like kind of just talk about whatever, which I know that'll probably get old. Like I've already started like taking notes on my phone and stuff. More detailed notes. That just made me think of something. But hold on.
Make a note of it.
Made me think of something. But so I was like, oh, let's start a shared note. Like on iPhones, you can do that. So we did that, and then we were both adding things, and then and then I'm laughing because last night.
I don't know.
Last night I like put something there like, oh, should we talk about this? And we were texting. We were texting already.
Yeah.
Okay. But I went into the note and was like, should we maybe talk about this thing? And then she's like, I don't think so.
I responded in the note. In the note.
And then in the note I went back and was like, oh, I thought it would be cool, but it's okay, like no problem.
And then yeah.
And then he texted me like, we're talking.
I love that we're talking through notes now too. We like find any way to communicate with each other.
I was just gonna say that. We will be texting,
sending reels.
Yep.
Marco Poloing.
That's the other thing I was gonna say too. Like, I feel like we already have a podcast and it's Marco Polo. Like we're just talking back and forth.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like an app where you can send like videos back and forth. I just hate explaining that because I feel like when I tell people that, they're like, oh, why don't you just like send videos to each other? Like in text.
Right.
But there's something, I can't explain it. There's just something different about.
Well, also, that's the only thing it's for.
That's
so
true.
It's like, you know, your video's up, my video's up. Like we can see them easy.
Exactly, yeah. It's not like video and then like I texted you 1,000 things
right.
and then I have to find your video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally just videos back and forth.
So that's what's cool about it. But I'm trying to think of how else we will talk to each other. Well, there's the voice memo thing.
Voice memo.
Sometimes we do voice memo. Not a ton.
No.
I think you do that more with other people.
Yes,
voice
I do,
memos.
actually. Yeah.
And then, I
think you're my only friend that I Marco Polo with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I do voice memos with some other friends. It's just so funny how everyone just communicates differently. Like,
and sometimes we talk in real life.
Sometimes. Yeah,
we don't really like to do that so much. But
when we're together, we'll just Marco Polo each other. Like you'll be in that room, I'll be in this.
100.
100. But speaking of the note, I guess I'll pull it out unless you have something else to say.
I have nothing to say.
I am sweating. Like actually. I just thrifted this shirt and it's really pretty, so if you're not watching, you should watch. I'm gonna literally like mentally condition everyone that's listening to watch. Oh, there was something. Oh, before I said I wanted to know, there was something about Chris D'Elia, because he said something in his last podcast that made me relate to him a lot, but now I forget. Dang it!
I didn't watch his latest one.
I don't think I finished it. But speaking of Chris D'Elia, which I have mentioned him.
Yes.
And I think I've mentioned that me and you love him. So this is my friend that
loves him.
Loves Chris D'Elia. We just have this bond over him, which is crazy and weird, but
awesome.
It's just the best.
It is.
So little people get it. That's why it's like just the best when somebody gets it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting it, like we also just like get what each other is thinking, saying, like we feel very similarly.
Yes.
Like in the way we feel things, you know?
Definitely. And then I feel like he's like that too, in a way.
Yeah.
So then we like relate to that.
When we say Chris D'Elia really fast though, it sounds like Crystalia. Crystalia.
Christopher? No, I'm just kidding.
Christopher D'Elia.
What's the middle name?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Oh man.
We're not OGs.
Dang it.
We're not OGs.
Actually, I do remember hearing like it said. So
Does his wife call him Christopher? I forget.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I think when she's like yelling.
Oh, and her name is Kristen, and it sounds like we're saying. Oh no, you said Crystal. It sounds like we're saying Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen D'Elia and Chris. Anyway,
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia. He's a comedian and podcaster and a silly man.
Yes, and he really just like talks about very deep things, but he's also hilarious and silly. Insane. So it's like, it's exactly it like checks every box.
Literally. Should we say what our podcast name was going to be if we did one, or should we not?
I think we can say it.
I think so too.
Like, don't steal it.
Just don't steal it. We need to like patent it right after this.
Okay. Oh, I'll say the first word and you say the second word.
Okay.
Silly.
Deep.
It's
so stupid.
So dumb. Silly deep.
Silly deep. That would be our podcast if we ever do it.
Yeah.
Because that's us as individuals and then as a friendship, I feel like. And then Chris is like that too.
So we'll have him on.
Oh my gosh. I should send in a video to Lifeline and be like, Chris, I just started a podcast. How do I get you to be on? Wait, no, you have to ask for advice. Yeah, advice on how to get celebrities onto my podcast. I should.
That is a good idea. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do it. So funny.
And he'll be like, you don't.
You don't. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else about D'Elia. I'm trying to think.
We'll probably circle back to him several times. Yeah. So
I feel like I've talked about him in like every episode so far.
They need to know.
You need to know.
Should we start with how we met?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So we met, right?
We met at one point.
We did meet at one point, and that was it.
The end.
No, we met like in high school, middle school, because we went to the same church, youth group. But Gina, you're 3.5 years younger than me, I think.
I was gonna say your age, but I don't know if you want.
That's fine.
You're 35, right?
Yeah, I'm 35.
Okay.
But I'm about to be 36.
Oh, that's right.
I'm gonna be 36 next month. The end of next month. Oh my god. Yeah. I know. Because the difference between 35 and like 37 feels huge. So now like I'm in this transition year into like almost being 40, basically. So nuts. No, but I'm not. I'm 35.
No, and you look great.
I'm in my mid 30s. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But you're 30.
I'm 32.
Okay. And you just turned 32 baby. Like 3 months ago.
Freshly 32.
Anyway.
So I'm pretty much still like super young.
Super young. You're like a baby.
Basically. I just got out of the womb.
Yeah. So, we knew each other, but we weren't like very close because we were so many grades apart.
Well, it felt that way, but we really weren't. You know what I mean? Like in the
back then, it's like a really big difference.
When you're young.
Yeah. And then, but we were always like friendly. You know, I don't think we ever really hung out in like the same circles or anything. No, you didn't. I'm dead.
You're like, wait, what?
No,
not at all. I like barely remember things from when I was young.
I don't even remember you actually.
Well, I hung out with your younger sister.
You did, yeah.
Because is she my age?
She's 1 grade above you.
Okay, so that's kind of was that situation.
And then I knew her sister because her sister is in my grade.
Yes.
So
that's so funny.
Yeah. But then I'm a photographer and I've been doing it for like 12 years. And right after I had my second baby, I was like completely overwhelmed with everything and was like, okay, I really need an assistant. So I put it out online. On Facebook. I put up in need of an assistant, and I immediately got like a few people.
Wow.
That
I forgot about.
Like emailed, replied, and and you were one of them, obviously. And as soon as I saw you reply to it, I was like, oh yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because I was like
why though?
I don't really know, but I was just like, I think like her and I would get along really well.
You felt the vibe.
I felt the vibe from afar.
I love that. That's so like deep.
I could never have predicted, you know,
like what our friendship would have turned into.
Yes. So but yeah, I remember the first day you came to my house, and I was like explaining all of the things to you. of like what the job was, which is also super weird for me because I'm like, to have somebody like being my assistant and me being a boss is like insane.
I forgot to say that when I was introducing
your former boss. Mm-hmm. So I fired her, but it's not a big deal. We moved on from that. No, I couldn't afford her anymore.
Let's get real.
Yeah, she just kept wanting raise after raise. No, I slowed down with my photography business, so couldn't afford an assistant. And but the first day you came, I was explaining things, and then I was like showing you songs or something.
Gosh, I really barely remember that.
She has no memories.
I know, I haven't mentioned that yet because I don't really want to talk about it. But yeah, bad memory.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then I just remember being like, I felt like I could really be myself with you.
I remember that. I remember feeling that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I don't know, like I was just like, I'm silly, so I'm just gonna like be silly in front of her. And I remember how surprised you were.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell my side of the story.
Okay, because I was just more shy and quiet in high school. Yeah, but I really like only around a big group of people. Like I've never really been shy or quiet in front of my friends.
Right.
So anyway, but yeah, okay, you can tell yours.
Okay, so yeah, yes, same store. First, like we weren't really friends, and then I didn't even tell the whole thing about how I went on a missions trip, and so I won't. But I started getting interested in photography after I got back from like a trip overseas, and I didn't even see your post. Do you remember that?
No, who saw it?
Mrs. Turner. Yeah, so at the time I was like, I had like a mentor kind of figure in my life. Yeah. Her name's Janet, but I don't know, I met her as Mrs. Turner, and like I just called her that as an adult. Like I think I would still call her that now. I guess not, but she like knew that I was interested in photography, and she saw Amanda's post. I don't even think I was like friends with you on Facebook or following you or anything.
Maybe.
Well, actually,
no, I think you were.
You, so yes, I
was.
Yeah. But anyway, she was like, "Oh, Amanda Dolly we all went to church together. She said that she was hiring somebody for an assistant." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I really need a job, and this would be a great opportunity." So I don't necessarily remember the first, like, I guess the interview part, but
there wasn't an interview.
No, there wasn't, right?
No.
You just told me like this is what it's gonna be, like on the message.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, but I do remember like when I started like coming there a couple times a week, it was just at her house, and we would work together in her dining room. And we would switch rooms. I feel like, right? Sometimes we switched.
My office turned into the playroom. Had turned into a playroom at that point. So yeah, we needed to be upstairs at the dining room table, which was not the most comfortable thing, but it worked. It definitely worked. It was just so much fun. Like, I definitely wasn't expecting you to be so silly because I was never friends with her like that. I just, I don't know. I just always saw you as like a shy person, I guess. Yeah, which you can be. But I feel like not so much anymore. No, really, not really. Actually. It's kind of crazy. It's so good though. And like, I was always silly too, but then I feel like she brought like this extra silliness out of me, which I love so much. And yeah, we worked together for how many years? 2, I think. Why does it feel like so much longer? I don't know. It's so weird. But because even after you weren't assisting for me, you were second shooting. She did promote me. I did. She did. Second shooter. I mean, hey. Yeah, so I was first just assisting you, like, office assistant. Then you were like, oh, come on, like, photo shoots with me and come to weddings with me, assist me there. And then after, like, what, a year? Not even? Maybe a year. She promoted me to being her second shooter, which was just, like, the best. I just remember being so nervous, though, to do that. But you were so good. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I can't even remember if I said I was a photographer. Like, I don't even know what you guys know about me. I forget. But yes, I'm a photographer. I'm a lot of things. I have my vision board up too behind me if you're watching. That's really cute. But yes, we had so much fun working together. Like,
best boss. Oh, well, I was gonna say best boss ever, but I got her a joke mug at one point saying what
number 2 boss.
Best wasn't it? Oh,
it just said number like number
boss.
2 boss.
Best number 2 boss ever. So fun.
Love it.
And we
had so much fun.
Obviously, just became besties from there. Even when we stopped working together.
Yeah, when you stopped work, I was like, oh no. And then we just like still
literally
talk constantly.
Yep. Because it's like it does happen where when you like feel like you're really close to someone at work and then you guys one of you quits or something, you like kind of never talk to them again.
Yeah.
So but that was
thankfully that did not happen.
Yeah. I don't think that ever could have happened, like even if we tried. So that's how we met, and yes, we've been besties since. We've had so much fun together, and we've done so many things together.
We really have actually done a lot of things together.
It's so insane. It's so freaking insane.
We've gone on like, well, have we gone on trips together?
Well, like retreat, like
oh yeah,
we did the retreat together. And even like, well,
me and Linda.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Went away on a trip. That just the 2 of us have, but we've done a bunch of like day things. And what happens when you forget what you're gonna say?
What happens? Like you just kind of wing it.
Okay. I mean, I forget what I'm going to say constantly while I'm saying it. So
me too.
Yeah.
Like
concerts. Like we've been to concerts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. I should. Yeah.
We do fun things, guys. Don't worry about it. No. We can't think of any of them, but we do.
Just trust us. We're really fun. We're a really good time.
Yeah, like you'd love to hang out with us.
Should we just go in order?
Sure.
Sorry, we're looking at our little note that we made.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this.
I know. Oof. Let's do it. Let's just do it. So Amanda put this part in. She wrote it in the note. About how we think so similarly about
the world / other people. And like we're both very empathetic, so basically like other people like really affect us. And but a part of it is like also just like wondering about everybody, like what's their story.
Yes, that's it.
Just like driving, right? And you see like 2 people walking on the sidewalk, and then you're just like, what's their life like?
Like, what's up with those?
What's up with them? Like, what's going on?
Like,
why? Why would I even think that? But like, everybody has their own life and their own story, and it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and of course, you can't know everybody's.
I'm trying to.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. But what I was gonna say was, you said it's mind-boggling, but not everyone thinks that it's mind-boggling.
Right. And that's mind-boggling in and of itself.
Seriously. So, like, someone could be watching and be like, okay. Like, yeah, everyone has a story, so. You know? Like,
yeah.
People have said that to me when I'm like, even, right? Or some, I thought one of us had someone be like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, we, like, literally just want to know everything about everyone. But not in, like, a nosy way, just like like super curious, like I genuinely,
yep,
would like see a stranger, even if like I'm in a coffee shop, and if we got to talking like naturally, I would like ask them questions about them. Yeah, it's happened before. Actually, I've done that before.
I think I just wonder about it. You know, like I don't need to know. And I'm probably I'm never gonna.
True.
But yeah, I just wonder a lot. And then we also both like have this. Shoot, you said it really well one time. You were Marco Poloing me on the boardwalk. Actually, I have a really good memory.
Yeah, I did Marco Polo you on the boardwalk a lot.
Yes, you did. But you were saying something about like. I don't know about like romanticizing life.
Yes.
Or like.
Yes.
Yeah, just like things feel like magical kind of sometimes. Yes. And that is like a super hard thing, I feel like, to explain to somebody.
Unless you like get it or feel that way.
Yeah. It's just like basically everything we're just like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
right? Like,
yes. Dude,
get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's just the best when somebody gets you so well.
It is the best.
Yeah.
I feel like I like went through a phase where I kind of lost that like magicalness. If that's a word.
I think I've gone through phases where I have too.
But I feel like I'm like back in it, and I honestly love it. Like it feels so good, but yeah, I guess there is a part that's like you're just kind of like romanticizing.
Well,
things.
We're dreamers, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And artistic.
Yes.
And
creative and like kind of poetic in a way too. Like just the way we think, like, which is so weird.
And you like writing poems.
I do like writing poems. Another thing about me that you guys didn't know.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I have a poetry page on Instagram.
What? You have every page. Every kind of page.
Which is so funny because I don't know. I just feel like I didn't have any hobbies. Like, not as a kid. I don't know. I just feel like in my like early 20s, I just feel like I didn't know what I wanted to do.
I remember you thinking
like,
that.
Yeah. Just
and feeling like you didn't have.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not good at anything and I don't have any confidence that I can do something. And anyway, I'll tell that maybe on another like podcast where it's just me. But I'm now at a point where I feel like I could like honestly do anything. And I've done a lot of the things that I really like realized that I enjoy doing.
So cool.
I like, I'll never forget when I just like, it was probably like 3.5 years ago. And like, I just noticed when I thought of things, I like wrote poems about, like in my head, like my thoughts were like poems.
That's really
And I was like, maybe I should just write poems.
Yeah.
So I started writing poems. And I honestly haven't written any in a while. Sometimes I'll jot some in my like notepad. I mean, notes on
like on my notepad.
I just pull out my notepad.
Yeah.
No, on my like phone. But yeah, like I'll be on the boardwalk and like I'll have like my headphones in, or usually I don't have my headphones in. But I'll just look at a couple walking or something and I just like envision this whole thing like about them. I'm just like wondering and like, oh, like how did they meet? Or like do they have a good relationship? And like,
yeah,
if they
I wonder that a lot too.
Yeah, like how do they communicate, or what have they been through? And like,
especially with children.
Oh yeah,
when I like
for sure.
When I would be shooting a wedding and there were children at the wedding, I would always be like, I hope their life is good.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh my gosh,
and yeah, is it a little psychotic though?
Well, no, I honestly, yes, I think so.
Yeah,
but I don't even care.
It's a bit much though.
I don't even care because I don't know.
It's overwhelming though.
It can be.
It can be. Yeah,
definitely.
Like, did you ever go to New York City?
No. Never.
It's like so overwhelming. I mean, there's so many people, right? But then it's like, especially the way that I think is like, it's a lot.
Like, forget it.
Yeah. Forget about it.
You'd be better off in a field alone. living in upstate. So that's crazy.
That's pretty much that.
But on top of that, with my new job, I'm thinking like that about everyone. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't like want to be like, let's stop the training. Tell me about your life. And like, I kind of did it like what? I don't know if they would ever watch this, but one of like the supervisors was training me, and like I just stopped her. I was like, "Are you Italian?" She just was like she reminded me of myself, honestly. And then she's like, "Everyone asks me that, but I'm not." And then I'm like, then I just start asking her a bunch of other questions about herself, and then she's like answering them, and she's like, "All right, back to it."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You gotta work.
But like, it's just been really weird because I'm like, all right, we're all like here for like 8 hours a day, and I haven't really talked to anyone about who they are, you know? So I'm like, I see them just as this like teacher person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you said we're all here, I thought you meant like on Earth.
I mean, that too.
Right.
No, that too, for seriously. But But like,
because that's crazy.
I want to know everything about everyone that works there, and I'm gonna do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure, like, and you of course like make certain connections with certain people, and you do get to that point where you share things. Even like the girl that's training with me, like when the supervisors are gone, we like start talking about like real stuff, and like I've learned things about her and she learned things about me, and like you're just like, wow, I would have never guessed you did that or whatever. Super, super cool to me, I guess. Again, not everyone thinks so, but I feel like it tracks for me, especially because I went and got my journalism degree, and I feel like that goes hand in hand. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like everything I've done so far like kind of like connect. Journalism, photography, poetry, like it's all very like storytelling, you know?
And I think for me, the photography, well, first of all, I always wanted to be a photographer, but I thought I wanted to be a teacher for a little while. But then it turns out I just like school. Like I just like the structure of school. And so, but again, I do love kids too.
Yes, you do.
And but I especially love babies, which I'm learning more and more. I mean, I knew that, but like, I just give me the babies.
Same, literally.
So, but I also think about being a psychologist.
I just thought of it the other day. Like,
wait,
should I? Like low key, because especially with my new job, I don't know if I should say what it is. Should I? Does it matter? That's fine, right? That's fine. I'm a teacher's assistant now at a school for kids with autism. So, and I have worked with special needs adults before. These will be younger than I've worked with, but it's a lot of psychology. Like it's a lot, like all the training is like understanding not just how autistic people think, but how we operate as humans and like how we express our needs. And then if there's, you know, a deficit, obviously, then how they may express their needs. And like, I've been honestly so blown away and like so interested in it, which is really, I guess for now we're talking about my job together, you and me. But yeah, it's been so crazy. And one of the girls that's been training me went to get her bachelor's in like psychology. And I'm like, dude, like I get why you did that because it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, should I like?
And I feel like with mental health being like the way it is now, just getting worse and worse every year, I feel like there's not going to be enough. Counselors, therapists, all that kind of stuff.
Wow,
so I'm like, you know, if I am even, you know, vaguely interested in it, maybe I should do it. Just, but
that'd be cool.
I also think that I would be so overwhelmed, like because I would take it on to me. But they probably teach you how to not do that. So
because I feel like you have to be empathetic to be. Well, you would want to be a therapist, right?
Yeah.
You have to be obviously empathetic to be a therapist. So, like you said, they probably do. I'm sure there are techniques or just ways to decompress after a session or whatever. And I think just like along your healing journey, like learning how to separate other people's feelings and things.
Man, I would be so nervous though. Like the first times I was doing it. Actually, the first times I do like anything, I'm so nervous and scared.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's normal.
Right. Oh, and that was what I was going to say about you saying something about in the last podcast, like feeling ready for something. Elise Myers on Instagram has like, she says this thing and she says, do it scared.
Love that.
Love that too.
Okay.
And it's like, I feel like that's basically what I've been doing like my whole life.
Yeah, totally.
Like with photography, I was so scared when I shot my first wedding, when I shot my second wedding, third, fourth, fifth, like I was so nervous before each wedding for like years almost. And then like I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm nowhere near as nervous as I used to be. But right when I pull up to the house, you feel it in your stomach a little bit. But as soon as I get in there and I start going, then I'm okay.
Totally.
But
then you're like, oh yeah, I do like know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Or like I am good at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like when I started, I didn't really know what I was doing. I really was just like kind of winging it. And I think I knew enough, but like I learned by doing.
Literally. And
so
honestly, that's what I'm doing with this podcast. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I know enough. I know how to put the camera on the tripod. I don't know
put the ring light on.
I don't know how to focus the camera, but
you're doing good with the microphones. Yeah, you know, like
literally before you got here, I had to figure out how to like how the mics would pick up both of our. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was just as simple as like plugging yours in and mine in, and then it just picks it up. But anyway, that's not the case. And I had to like do a YouTube video, and there's been a lot of YouTube videos. But yeah, just like the learning of it while you're doing it. You gotta learn through it. If you want to do something, just take the step, do it, and you're gonna learn, and you're gonna get better, and you're never gonna stop learning. So I mean, might as well just do it anyway.
So then we listened to that, and now I'm like, was I too far away? Was I
know.
too close?
So
I was a little far, I think.
We just like took a break and like listened back to what we were saying. I know, but why did it, I feel like your mic wasn't even forward. That's why I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna put mine. I'm just loud.
You are louder than I am.
I'm just freaking insane. Ay.
I mean, same, but
I mean, yeah. Which is why we mesh. But anywho, not much more to really say. Yeah. I feel like we hit all of our points on our notes, which is great. And Amanda had a good idea of me just explaining why I want to have guests on, which I feel like ties into everything we were talking about.
I think you mentioned it a little bit on the last episode.
Yes,
but
I did.
Yeah.
But it's just like being curious, really. Like I know my friends, so I'm gonna. Those the episodes with my friends are just gonna be fun and all that. But like I do want one day to have people that I don't really know and just like ask, just about their journey and how they got where they are. Yeah. Things like that. And
that'd be so cool.
Yeah, other things I want to touch on for sure. And
you know what I was thinking?
What? Oh, I know the church bells are ringing.
This is gonna be so cool to look back on in years from now and like see you at this time in your life and your friends.
Oh, that is weird.
Right?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely. I was telling her that it like encourages me to make a podcast or just do it basically. Just
do it, baby.
Yeah. So even though I'm like, I don't know if I should.
Yeah.
Who's gonna watch it? Who's gonna listen to it?
Yeah.
Who cares? That's like my biggest thing. I'm like, who cares?
And like, it's a valid point.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, I watch podcasts.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah.
And I think
people care.
Yeah, people do, and it's like, I just feel like when people are drawn to us, or whoever's on the podcast, that's why they watch. Like, I told you I've been watching Veronica and Kyle. Yeah. And like, I recommended it to you, but you're probably not as drawn to it because you haven't had that connection to them yet.
Totally
like,
true, actually.
Yeah. Like, I will sit and watch Veronica and Kyle. I would watch them for hours, and I would be entertained from start to finish. Like, I swear on my life.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just everyone's connected to people differently and relate to people differently, and obviously I know not everyone's going to relate to me. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I think success is possible. I have no idea what's going to happen. And
yeah. But also, that's the thing, too. If it's fun and you like doing it, then why not? Yeah. Right? There's no harm in that.
And you encouraged me just even last night, because I think, was it last night when I was like, I honestly get why people quit, because my video views have gone down since the first episode, and I don't know why. So it's like, it was a little discouraging. And like, I don't think I'll stop, but I understand why people feel like that. Yeah. And
but you know what? Mr. Beast, okay? He was doing YouTube for years before people started watching him. Before he started getting popular. Yeah. Yeah. And they just did it. They just did it.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's the plan. I'm not planning on stopping, honestly, because I know that consistency and probably time is are the two main components in potentially becoming, well known or whatever. Just
I think consistency, really.
I know.
Yeah.
And that is probably one of the hardest things to do in life in general.
Yes. It's very hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super hard, but
you're going to do it.
I'm going to make it work.
Yep.
I'm determined.
You're giving this a go.
A good, quality to have.
Yeah.
First, Good. But yeah, that's about it, guys. And I feel like we slayed this episode. I think we were or I was a little nervous. Yeah, it's just a little or is it going to feel weird? I don't know, because we always hang out, but not with the camera on us.
I know.
But it feels very normal to me.
Me too.
It feels very natural. So that's a good sign. And thank you so much for coming to Settle Down for What. And
Thank you.
give it up for my first guest, Amanda. See you guys.